And this bit starts showing the camp as it now remains, just, you know, as a proper walkthrough. See why you need wellies even when it was fully on. It's just utterly, I mean, that is the hard work of the of that place that held food. It really is like after a war, in a way. It kind of is. But it is a war. It's a war against the authorities and fracking, so you can see that what mess that's in. Over there. Just this was the Solidarity Tea Hut. I had a lot of times in there. It's just now totally like it's now completely gone because they've taken it down. They've left most of the wood. It's a much bigger job taking all this wood away anyway. There's a police helicopter there. And now there is all that. This, in the last month or so, has turned into an absolute fortress of just surrounding this inner area, which is the, if you like, the centre of it all. Here was where it was. So this fence just showed, you know, that. As you went through here, eventually that was like a gate, like you'd have to a city or something. You know, it was like that, and then there's the police van there. You go to the toilet if you went quite far down there. Well, I've taken video before showing through the camp what it was like back in 14 and 15. So, you know, it was very impressive how far it got developed. There you go, this is a load of possessions that are just stacked over here. I'm going to walk over here and have a look now at that. Well, we're getting a bit wet, aren't we? Look at that, there's all the stuff they've just chucked there. There used to be a piano that was totally gone anyway. All sorts of stuff was there and just thrown it in the corner, but food supplies have been binned. Obviously they could have been at use, whoever they went to. I mean, so people are taking issue at that. There's the police van. We hope they are not going to take too much interest in me, because I've got some sort of special reason. I hope they don't. But this is an example. We're on bamboozle if it happens. We've got enough more battery on this one. If a moat had been dug, I wasn't even here over Christmas, so I didn't see that being put in. Because I had a cold and had stuff going on at Christmas, and then I went to Scotland, so all that was added in the month that I wasn't there, and then it was the eviction. I didn't actually think we'd be able to stand here again for a good long time, so I'm quite amazed that they are able to do that. Not that there's much here, except a possible fracking site now, and a load of junk stuff that was once something that supported almost like one of those places that if there was an apocalypse, it was a place that you'd build away from home. It had 12-volt power supplies, solar panels it had. Not that easy to make a cup of tea because the gas had to be on. And all that, they had colour gas. It's like, it's a complete camp. I mean, if you watch The Walking Dead, it's kind of like what they would make there. And it would have definitely easily seen off zombies compared to actual living law enforcement. So, I think what they built, they would have, with the control tower. Oh yeah. With the control tower that was huge here, 3-storey, a bit rickety for someone who doesn't like heights like me. They would have seen off zombies for years to come. Well, there you go. And that's the main demo still over there. Right now, I'm going to give a listen to their speeches and things now. So.
It's all about celebrating the existing great work that's being done by grassroots work activities across the country already. It's also about strengthening that movement and growing it as well. So I guess a few of us from here, like Lower Peter Parish, and I was there recently. great, license ago, thanks for coming. I was lucky enough to be there with Reclaim the Power, and actually part of kind of, organising the protest on Stickley Road, which is perhaps the most exciting part of what was going on over there, so that was a real privilege. It was exciting, loads of people got involved, it was really galvanising. Obviously, the actual talks that went on and the agreement was a total failure as well. A lot of us are concerned. I know it was, somewhat of a diplomatic success, there was an agreement, but in terms of actually really delivering the goods, total failure. And, that can be, a bit distressing, I suppose. But, we've been let down by our government time and time again on this issue. And actually, maybe this is an opportunity. Maybe 2016 is an opportunity to actually do something from the grassroots up. We can't continue to keep putting our faith in our government and our leaders and our political leaders. And it's groups like those that have been occupying this field for the last 18 months, incredible work. They're really showing and leading the way on how are they going to make this change happen. So, massive respect to those guys. Really fucking massive respect. Excuse the language, sorry about that, sorry, getting a bit carried away. Where was I?
There we go.
If it doesn't, if change isn't going to come from our political leaders, because it's just not. We've had 21 years of negotiation with climate change. And where's it going to come from? And I've said that, the real power lies in the people. Think about slavery, think about apartheid. They didn't end because our government decided, we're going to pull this to a close. They ended because people took action. Ordinary people got out and took action and made it happen. So we need to carry that fight on from now on. We've heard enough from our government, so we just need to kind of rise up together. And that is exactly what Groundswell is about. And I invite you to get involved in Groundswell. There's lots of groups that support it. I'm not going to list them all, but if you get involved, you get in contact with Reclaim the Power, the groups involved, and if you just you can send us an email to Groundswell, we can help basically. If you're interested in taking more action on climate change, interested particularly in direct action on climate change, Groundswell is about helping people to get involved in that journey, alright? And it's also about celebrating what's already going on. There's so much cool stuff going on. So we kind of wanted to do Groundswell to celebrate that, to strengthen the movement and invite other people in. So give us a ring, I've got the number here and you can find it on our website. There's flyers going around, give us an email, get in contact, and we can help you. We can do trainings basically on direct action locally in your region, and also once the direct actions happen, like today, there's been a couple already and this one, we can share that online on the Groundswell website. We're totally anonymous. Way of sharing direct action, so we can get really excited together and really see how powerful and diverse this movement is as well. Really encourage you to get involved in Groundswell. And just to kind of close by saying, the world is waiting to wake up, and we can be the ones that wake them up, and we can lead the way with direct action and what we're doing here today. So, fracking is stoppable, another world is possible. Thank you.
So I'm sure loads of you have experienced or been aware of anti-fracking camps around the country and just how cold and tough and hard it can be. And it's not an easy thing to do. And some people have been doing this for the last 2 or 3 years, 18 months in this case. And we're gonna have someone talking from the camp. I've actually got an award from the International Climate Games for the camp in this little paper bag right here, and they actually won the Climate Games award within the whole of Europe national network for the most effective action, which is pretty amazing. So I'm going to present the award, and we're gonna have a little talk from the camp. James.
So there you go, we're right by the entrance with this as well. We've been able to go in as well and have a look around, see what devastation's been left by the eviction. Obviously the complete destruction of all the structures there, and just a load of the wood and bits of metal left on the floor.
You got Phil anywhere?
Right now, Moral raising speeches outside.
Phil! I think he's coming.
Yeah, Phil's one of them that he took his cat out in the end, because he had to think of the cat, his cat. And 2 others were left there. One was found this morning, so and he's going to come to speak about it. He's gone to have a look at what's been left there.
Just going to give it away.
Coming now.
Okay, you want to take it on? I want to take it on.
Oh, I'm not going to go. Okay, we're gonna. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this morning at Carrington gas-fired power station, really nearby here, was actually occupied by people from No Dash for Gas and Reclaim the Power. Obviously, as part of the Paris COP talks, our government is making massive climate, carbon reduction emissions, and they think that they can realistically do this with fracked gas and nuclear, and they genuinely believe this, and they're setting up a whole wave of infrastructure in the UK, such as Carrington gas-fired power station, to really try and create the infrastructure to make this happen. So fracking is extraction, and then we've got places like Carrington where they're trying to make the infrastructure viable, and so that was shut down today, really stopping the dash for gas at its hurdle now, where it's going to happen. So big up to everyone who's occupying Carrington Power Station! Stopping the dash for gas, stopping the madness. Alright, I'm going to hand over to Phil, and then we're going to present the award. Give it up for Phil!
Yay! Talk about this. Phil, who rescued a cat, he taught the captain.
Really pleased everybody's turned up today anyway. It's been amazing support. The camp's had amazing support from start to finish. The locals have been absolutely incredible. It's been wet and muddy, but the love on that camp has been immense. The love from outside the camp has been immense, and we ain't giving up. We're not stopping. We are going to keep fighting, not just for Upton, but for the rest of us, for the rest of the country, for the rest of the world if we can. And I'm just thank everybody for all the support. It's been amazing. Thank you.
I've got a little
One of the last off camp he was, Phil.
And a nice kind of spray, so you can spray your
He left with his cat when he realised it would be dangerous for his cat. He lasted a long time.
There's Wolfskin cabs not too far away. They've actually put out a wish list online of things they need. So the movement's definitely still happening in so many places, just moving on. And yeah, like you say, it's just the beginning, really. So everyone on the cabs! I'm going to hand over now to someone who has now been involved in this for a little bit, been doing some amazing stuff up in Blackpool. I'm going to hand over to Tina Louise.
I have some messages from the South of Solidarity that I'll read out in a moment. For the Nanas, it's been a hard day to come down for. We've lost one of our Nanas who's passed away in the last week. So we just wanted to acknowledge that, so we sound slightly less than jolly today. But she would have wanted us to be here. She'd come down here and she admired the things that we did on camps. Not everyone can camp. You look about you and you see the diversity of our movement, how varied we are as people. But what happened to us all was that we received an unwelcome gift of truth. We found the truth through all the lies, all the marketing, all the PR bull, and all the stuff our government tried to feed us. The people standing on this road and the people who took that field and fields across the country heard the truth and went forward and investigated. And we're like the front line of this. And it was in our diversity that it makes us both beautiful and very challenging. And anyone who has stayed on a camp will understand that challenge. But what is it like to bed down with your fellow man in mud for over a year? And to go through that and try to get through it unscathed? You know, we take a lot of hits and we live big as activists. I don't expect a lot of us ever expected this to be our lives. Certainly 4 years ago when I read the booklet on fracking and thought, that sounds quite nice. It's natural, it's homegrown, there'll be jobs, it's bound to reduce the bills. It all sounded so damn good you really wanted to believe it. And I really tried. But unfortunately I'm not an idiot. So in not being an idiot, I ended up understanding that there was no words of reassurance that I could hold them to in a court of law. That none of this was real. That all of it was if we use gold standard regulations, if the regulators check. And we saw what the regulators did with banking, with food, with hospitals, with PFIs, with all the other stuff. So why should we believe that this would be any different? And 4 years ago, when there were like 3 groups in the country fighting this, we realized that what it really needed was a lot of people to realize. And so we'd have to run from town to town really fast, delivering public meetings. And it was so easy. All you had to do was stand at the front and say, this is the process of fracking. Can you see any risks or problems? And because everything alive requires air and water, everyone in the room is invested. You don't ask people to save the planet. You ask people to save the air and water that your family and your friends rely on in your community. And communities across the country came together, each with their own identity, each of the groups. There are now over 400 groups. And let's remember how bloody successful we've been. You know, we may go through evictions and it may not be easy. But in 2011, when they did their one and only frack in this country, in Blackpool, they swore they would have a full production site by 2013, but there would be more sites by 2015. And we are in 2016. And when we optimistically did a hashtag in 2014 saying, you know, frack free 14, we're like, be lucky we can get through the year. And then here we are, 2016. We have another election. So we live big, we live hard, and it's not easy. And as everyone on this road knows, you cannot find an exit door to this cause. You cannot leave. How could you leave? At what point would you look at your child or your grandchild or your neighbour and say, you know what, I reckon Cameron's all right, really. He said, he promised he would keep us safe. And I've decided it's time to believe him. And at no point can you do that. So we are stuck together. And as we are stuck together, I think we have done some amazing work beyond stopping fracking, and it's also worth acknowledging that. We have broken down our social boundaries.
One of the
coverage may go our diversity. We will do our very level best to stay on subject, stay together, keep in line, and never give up on our end aim. And always remember the aim. Because in the end, we are all defending each other, whether we love or don't each other, or whether our lifestyles are different. And I think it's been an amazingly beneficial side, if you had to say there was an upside to fracking, and there isn't really. So let me read the messages of solidarity from down south. Without my glasses. Challenge. No, bloody age. Okay, greetings. This is from Balcombe, where the first site of the camping was back in 2012, 13? No, 70 years. Some time ago. Balcombe, no fracking in Balcombe Society said to Upton community, greetings and sympathy and encouragement for future resistance. The bullies temporarily won the day, but there are many and varied ways to beat a bully. People power will win this war over the bullies in the gas industry and over our bullying government. People throughout the country are behind you and with you, from south to north, from Wales, across to the Midlands and Lincolnshire, from the central belt of Scotland to Upton and Balcombe. Onward. From Billinghurst, sending love and solidarity to everyone at Upton for your stand against IGAS and their absurd plans to pollute our land, air and water for the sake of corporate greed. You are an inspiration to us all, and people as committed as you, we are sure to win in the end. I hope you will enjoy this book and that it will inspire you to keep up with your campaign. Clearly someone's delivering the book. I don't have it. And also from Keith Kurtzford and Winsborough Green. We send our very best wishes to everyone there. People all across the UK are getting the message now, and if we are all strong, we will win in the end. And finally, from Brighton against fracking, stay strong, stay determined, know that you are supported and rise again like lions, as we are. Thank you.
Sorry about the picture coverage there.
All right, thank you everyone so much for coming today. We're going to be walking back to the park now where lots of, going to be actually Kaylee, an anti-fracking Kaylee. Yeah, as Tina said, that's right, they thought they were going to do it easy, they thought it was going to happen fast. But they're losing. Fracking's not happening in the UK. They're not winning. And this movement's doing an amazing job. Everyone on the camp, everyone who's come today, everyone who's posting things, all of us together, it's working. And we should be really proud of that. So we're just gonna have a 1 minute poem, then we're gonna have some music, walk back, and anti-fracking Kaylee, and be here 2 more. Oh. Wow. Wow now. Thought there were 3. We've got 2 more speakers! Hi, a person.
Just before we do that.
Right, I'm just a person. Same as everybody else.
Ah.
All this started 2 years ago when one person found out by accident at a presentation in Wrexham, 15 miles away from here, that a company called Dart Energy was coming to this field to drill it. Nobody here knew anything about this. Through one person trying to bring this to public attention, the ball started rolling. From visiting the protest camp at Barton Moss, gaining insight and experience, from delivering handwritten leaflets to the neighbourhood, going to public meetings, first one local crack-free group was started, and then another, and another, and another, and another. We have collectively held our previous council to account through the cross-party working group on unconventional gas extraction. We have since changed that council, got rid of it. Not the Conservatives voted in an anti-fracking Labour MP. We've changed our parish councils. We've networked, supported and been supported by other groups nationally. And now we are able to present and pass on our knowledge, our experience further afield, where this industry still tries to sneak in. We have had the longest running blockade in the UK right here.
Yeah. 21 months.
Upton Community Protection Camp first of all stopped Dart Energy, and then they stopped iGas from gaining access for Dutton's Lane for 21 months.
Yeah.
One person can make a difference. Together, we can make change happen. And we are...
Frack-free Little Stanny.
Oh yeah.
Frack-free Hambridge. Frack-free Malkus.
Frack-free Neston, I just started that.
Frack-free Chester. And Frack-free Darling. Frack-free Inston Elton. Frack-free Mickle Trafford.
Frack-free Plymouth. Frack-free Ellesmere Port. Frack-free Greater Manchester.
Frack-free Knutsford.
Yeah. It's yellow, yeah.
Avery against fracking.
So I'm in Neston, yes.
Frack-free Wrexham. Yay!
Anyone else?
Sorry.
Frack-free Lancashire.
Stick down.
Frack-free Will.
Deep Wiltshire Frack-free. Frack-free Chew Valley.
Brilliant.
Frack-free Isle of Wight.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah.
Frack-free Liverpool.
I'll go behind for you now. Hang on. Sorry.
Frack-free Sussex.
These people have their geographical names to it. Going to North Wales Police who are supporting.
Frack-free everywhere.
Frack-free Pennsylvania. That's the first place we heard of.
Attention to our friends from the police as you've been walking along. You may have noticed that some of them are from a crack unit known as the HEDDLU.
Heavily.
Apparently they were here during the eviction as well. The English among you, HEDDLU or Headley, is Welsh for police. And the reason they're here is because
Actually, there's somebody in there, but he's not here.
technology in Wales, and they're here to find out how it all works from their point of view. So I and my colleagues from Crack-Free Wales are here to give them to express our solidarity with the people from Upton and everywhere else that's here, and to say that don't forget us in Wales, we may need your help at some point in the future. You know, I have a dream that we will never see any of you in Wales, but I fear that we probably will. For our friends from the police who are here to find out how it all happens, a message for them. As far as Wales is concerned, as far as the Crack-Free Wales Coalition is concerned, as far as the 22 local groups within that coalition and the 20,000 supporters that we have are concerned, when it comes to fracking, we're not having it. I'd like to say a special thank you to the community protectors for all that they do, because it's only by standing on the shoulders of these giants that people like me, armchair warriors like me, can do what we do, and that's not the thread there, but the point is, there's something that everybody can do. You know, if you're not up to, you know, camping in a muddy field for 2 years, or marching on demonstrations, or you know, occupying power stations or whatever, there is always something that you can do and that anybody can do. So, thank you to all of you for being here, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.
I'm going to leave on that now as I...
Oh, this is just a very quick one. I set up a petition about 6 months ago called Scrap Fracking UK-wide and Invest in Green Energy. It's currently got over 40,000 signatures, and if it gets 100,000 by the 22nd of January, it will get debated in Parliament. So if we can we sign it and share it as much as we can, please, and it's on the government website, and all the groups, Scrap-Free Upton and Upton.
Battery change. That was.
The Scrap-Free Upton group, sign the petition, Scrap-Free Fracking, Scrap Fracking UK-wide and Invest in Green Energy. Thank you.
We're gonna have one more big little poem, and then we're gonna have maybe a little announcement.
Hi, I'm Evie Pascal from Crack-Free Greater Manchester and the Manchester Campaign Against Climate Change. So I'm bringing greetings from those organisations. We've been up in Lancashire at Preston on that wonderful day. And, sorry? Oh, okay. We've been at Barton Moss walking with the lorries and all part of the campus there as well. And it's great to be here today. We were in Paris. Our banner, our yellow banner there, the Manchester Action Climate Change banner, I think was the only banner with a place name on it on the whole of the Paris demonstration, as far as we could see. So we were there, we've been around. I just wanted to say two things. One is that we make the link with climate change one of the most important aspects.
The helicopter's trying to drown out now.
That we can't do something safely or provide fair rights and so on.
Hold the mic,
Jimmer! You could be against it because you've got to keep the fossil fuels in the ground. So far from getting new and extreme fossil fuels from fracking and so on, we need to campaign to keep all of them in the ground and go on to renewables instead completely. And so the other thing I want to say is that we work in Greater Manchester, we support anti-fracking council and so on, but we also do meetings, conferences, and we're thinking of doing a new campaign of going to trade union branches and universities, other places where people maybe haven't heard the number about
Can't hear you!
coming here and hope that
Oh, this is low now, can't keep it up. Right, we'll stop coverage for a bit while we charge up, I'm afraid, but that has been the anti-fracking camp coverage. Bit generic, that wasn't it? It was the demo that's taken us right to the devastated site of the Upton Anti Franking camp, right outside. We've had speeches.